Hello everyone, I'm your host BlackTuna and welcome back in another video. Today we are talking about Naraka Bladepoint, and it's the second time I record this video because OBS is giving me audio issues, so let's wrap this up quickly this time. Naraka Bladepoint is yet another Battle Royale coming out on Steam. It's not currently released, but it's in some sort of playtest phase, and if you go on the Steam page you can just click on the participate button and you will be automatically entitled to play the game for yourself, just until the 27th of April. So I'm not sure when this video is going out, but if the time passed already, I'm sorry. So yes, I did mention that this is a Battle Royale, but this is not like any other Battle Royale you've probably played in the past. In fact, this one is melee focused, so there's no gun shooting. I mean, there are some ranged weapons, yes, but its focus is mainly on melee weapons. And now yes, there have been other Battle Royales just like this one who focus on melee battle. Just to name one is the Black Desert Battle Royale called Shadow Arena, and then there's another one that failed incredibly, but I don't remember its name, so let's forget about it right now. So yeah, what makes this Battle Royale different from the others? First of all, it's quite enjoyable. I played it for a few hours with some friends, and it's one of the best melee Battle Royales, if not the best melee Battle Royale out there. Period. Now, why is that? Well, first of all, you cannot create your own character. Just like other Battle Royales, you will have a select range of characters, at the moment 6 of them, that you can choose between. The difference between each of them is of course the appearance and the fact that each character is going to have two separate abilities. The main ability and the ultimate ability. Now, if you start playing the game right now, it may seem like there's not too much variety, but later on you will unlock talents that will allow you to change the effects of your skills, and this will make combat substantially different because some skills will allow you to do completely different things from what you can do in the beginning. So yeah, if you're starting to play the game right now and you feel like there's not a whole lot of variety between the characters, I suggest you wait a little bit more until you unlock the talents, and then you will see if you like where things are going. Talents will also allow you to give some stat bonuses to your characters. You can have increased HP, increased damage, increased grappling hook distance. Yes, you heard that correctly, grappling hook. We talk about that in a minute. First of all, let's talk about weapons. There's 3 different types of melee weapons and 6 or 7 different types of ranged weapons. Now yes, despite the game having only 3 varieties of melee weapons, it's still melee focused. Now ranged weapons are strong and all, but the fact is that while you're aiming and shooting with a ranged weapon, someone else with a melee weapon can reach out to you in a half of a second and beat the shit out of you before you even notice. What I want to tell you is that yes, ranged weapons are strong, but beware. You have to plan accordingly and carefully before you decide to aim and shoot someone. Especially if you're playing in party mode, where you play in a party of 3 in the Battle Royale. Well, of course you have to pay attention not only to one enemy, but 3. Some of them could come from the back and beat the shit out of you. Someone could come from the above and beat the shit out of you. So yeah, be careful, play accordingly with ranged weapons. Now each melee weapon has its own moveset, different abilities, attack speed, and you can attack with left mouse button and right mouse button, respectively light and heavy attacks, and if you hold the button pressed for a while you will charge up some special attacks. Also, by mixing light and heavy attacks you can do different combos, and pressing the 2 buttons at the same time you can perform a parry. Parrying an enemy who's attacking you with a charged attack will allow you to disarm the enemy, meaning that when he swings at you at full power and you manage to parry, his weapon will fly away from his hands and is going to be barehanded. Of course, you can equip 2 weapons at a time on your character, so he can switch to his secondary weapon, but if he's fighting you with his primary melee weapon and has a secondary ranged type weapon, well, he's gonna be pretty much screwed if you disarm him, right? Of course, it's not as easy as it sounds. First of all, there's a little bit of delay in the game with the connection and whatnot, but also you have to time the parry pretty much perfectly. Also, weapons have durability. You know, the more you use a melee weapon, the lower the durability is going to go, and with the repair kit you can pretty much sharpen your weapon again like you would do in Monster Hunter and be back in the fight immediately. Same thing for ranged weapons, although it's a bit different because ranged weapons run out of ammunition, and if you want to fill it up again you have to use a repair kit. So it's pretty much the same thing, just a little bit different. Now I did mention that people with melee weapons can reach out to you in half of a second if they wanted to while you're aiming and shooting. Well, it's a real issue, but it's actually a very cool feature of the game, because again, as I mentioned, you have grappling hooks. Now the grappling hook is the greatest and best feature of this game, and the best weapon as well. Let me give you an example. If you've played Sekiro, you will know that to use the grappling hook, you can use it only in certain places, aiming at certain points, so you don't really have a lot of freedom when using it. Well, Naraka Bladepoint got you covered, because you can use the grappling hook anywhere. No matter where you are, no matter what you're aiming at, what kind of surface it is, you can grapple to that surface. Of course, you have to be in range for the grappling hook to reach the surface, but you can use it anywhere, and you can go anywhere with the grappling hook at incredible speeds. Of course, grappling hooks are some sort of consumable that you can find around when looting, so it's always good for you to have a bunch of stored grappling hooks in your inventory so that you can reach out to enemies real quickly or escape a dangerous situation real quickly. Also, grappling hooks can be used to grapple two enemies, so if an enemy is shooting at you from afar, if you are in range, you can grapple to that enemy and jump with your sword at them while swinging it and beat the shit out of them immediately. That's why I was saying be careful when you're using ranged weapons. Now the game follows the classic pattern of a battle royale. You spawn in a map, you go around and loot because you start off without weapons, without defensive gears, without heals, and you're going to be able to find different tiers of weapon. There's grey, blue, purple and golden. Golden being the legendary, of course. Now, does gear tier matter? Yes, it does. Of course, a golden weapon will do much more damage if compared to a grey weapon, but I still believe that skill is the most prevalent element in this game, because even if there is someone with a golden weapon and golden armor and you only have a blue sword, let's say, if you manage to stun lock the enemy or grapple to them and dodge their attacks and parry them, this guy with golden weapon and armor still will have no chance against you. So if you manage to play your class correctly and use the skills correctly, you will still be able to outmatch one of those people who always get lucky and get the best loot immediately. And I experienced this firsthand when I was playing with a friend of mine and we both got deleted by a team of 3, and you know, I respawned because I had my one respawn available and my friend couldn't use it anymore. And when you respawn, you are given some very basic gear so you can just fend yourself if someone is trying to spawn kill you. And I went back to the same 3 people who killed us with basic gear and beat all of them together by myself. So this shows you, or at least it showed me, how much skill matters compared to gear tier. Now, grappling hooks, again, they are incredibly useful, especially because the map offers a lot of verticality. Not everywhere, there are of course plain areas, but some areas are verticality heavy. There's a lot of places you can climb up to and you can use ranged weapons, maybe you can scout the area. So I believe that the map design itself and the map visual quality itself, it's really good. And talking about visual quality for the game itself, well, the game knocks it out of the park. The game looks beautiful on Unreal Engine. Now, it doesn't run quite well yet, but it does look good. Characters look incredibly good, the map looks incredibly good, weapons incredibly good, abilities incredibly good, so you can rest assured that this game is a visual treat for your eyes. Now yes, the game is quite enjoyable and I had a blast playing it, but there are a few negative things that I feel like I need mentioning. First of all, performance is abysmal. Running on my rig, I've had constant stuttering when fighting in big battles when there were more than 3 people involved. So yeah, that made it pretty much unplayable for me. Now immediately, I did have the game on a hard disk, and then later on in the day, I decided to uninstall it and reinstall it on my SSD that I usually keep for important software or Star Citizen, because otherwise you can't play the game. And I did notice substantial improvement on an SSD. There are still stutters, but way less frequently than they happened on my hard disk. And there is one more thing that I feel like mentioning, is that lowering graphics for me didn't do anything. Actually no, it impeded my performance. So at medium settings I was getting more stutters than I was at maximum settings, which is unreal. Now I'm not an IT expert, but I'm not sure how this works. Why does this happen? And judging from what people are saying in the Steam Community Hub, many people are having performance issues. Also, another issue for the game is rendering distance. Now, buildings and trees don't render too far into the distance, but that's fine. You know what's the issue? Is that players also don't render too far out into the distance. So if you are, for example, climbing a tower because you want to scout out the area, see if there's some enemy approaching, you want to use your ranged weapons and poke enemies from afar, well, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're not gonna be able to do that because the rendering distance doesn't allow you to do that. For example, I was on a tower and there is a huge flaming stationary crossbow that you can use to shoot enemies with. The issue is that I couldn't see any enemy for a long time, and then all of a sudden enemies appeared from some sort of invisible wall behind which they were not rendered at all. So I saw enemies, 3 enemies appear right in front of me basically. Again, because the rendering distance is not rendering the players from afar. Lastly, I would like to mention some balance changes. There are some weapons, namely the greatsword, that has a huge stun locking power. More than the other weapons, this weapon can keep you on the ground virtually forever if the person using it knows how to use it. And now, yes, I know that there is dodging available. The issue is that it doesn't feel like dodging gives you invincibility frames or doesn't give you enough invincibility frames. So I have 2 suggestions. One would be to reduce the stun lock power for all weapons so that enemies have the opportunity to retaliate and make fights more dynamic so that they can also fight their way through your attacks. Instead, the second way would be to improve dodging, giving it a couple more invincibility frames so that you can actually dodge through some attacks. And it happened so many times that while dodging, I was getting attacked. Now, again, I'm not sure if dodging really has any invincibility frames, but if it does, I think they need to be cranked up a little bit more, because regardless, you cannot spam dodge. So yeah, these are the few issues that I've encountered while playing this game. Again, performance being the most prominent of them, because it makes the game virtually unplayable in big fights, at least for me and my friends. The final issue that I feel like mentioning is pairing. Now, I told you that pairing is made by pressing the left and right mouse button together, the same buttons that you use to combo your skills. It will happen often that while you're trying to do some combos, the game will automatically trigger a parry, which can basically fuck up your combo and get you killed. Now, I know that there is the side mouse button that allows you to do parry with just the press of one button, I know that, but the issue is that while you're fighting and you're trying to combo someone, sometimes automatically parry will trigger. And I feel like parry needs to be completely removed from the left and right mouse button combination. And these are pretty much all the negative things that I had to say about this game. Overall, it's actually a great impression that I've had of it. And also one positive thing that I forgot mentioning is that yes, there is no character creation, but there is a lot of character customization. You can customize virtually anything. You can give hair to bold characters, change outfit, change eye color and face shape, you can change grappling hook, you can change so much stuff of your characters to make them your own. I will show you some examples that I did with my character, with my main character, just to show you how much customization there is available in this game. And that's why I feel like this game should be free to play in the end. I'm not sure if it's going to be, but I think it should be, because there's a lot of monetization possibility behind these cosmetics, considering there is also a battle pass. Lastly, I'm afraid about this game's success, because we've already seen other melee battle royales that have miserably failed, even some of them with the backing of a huge game such as Black Desert Online. I truly believe this game has lots of potential, even because just grappling your way through the map is so much fun and makes the game so much more dynamic than it would otherwise be. I feel like people would enjoy this if they would give it a chance. The issue is that people don't really give a chance to many games nowadays, and that's why I feel like what this game needs before launching is a strong marketing campaign, maybe even with some Twitch drops integrated with it. And also, again, the game being free to play would help a lot, because I'm not sure people are willing to pay for battle royales anymore when there are so many other good free to play battle royales around. Now, again, I think this is everything that I had to tell you today, because I quite honestly enjoyed this game from top to bottom. performance aside, but I want to know what you people think about it. If you've played Naraka Bladepoint, let me know down below and tell me what you think the weak points of this game are and what are its strong suits. Because maybe with enough good feedback we can drive the game in the right path and make it have some decent success. But anyway, if you did like the video, please do click the like button, subscribe and leave a comment down below, because I will see you again, as always, in the next video.